Good morning. So today we'll be learning how to use the Windows application by means how to start up with a Windows application, and I will be trying to do a program that we have already done in console application. So this was a console application where we are trying to reverse a number. So the logic and everything will remain the same, only the interface will change. So if you look at this, how this program works right now is that it is asking in a plain console application. This is what is console. Okay. So please enter the number to reverse. So if I enter any number, so and so, and it just reverses the number. It's like quite black and white. Okay. So if you want a graphical interface, that is a form, then you need to have a form application. For that, what we do is that let's stop this and start off with um, again. So this is, we'll go for our Visual Studio. Now here the first thing that you have to do is that you can go for your create project. um, Now here when you go for your, you'll go for Visual Basic, and there you'll see the first one that is known as Windows Form application. Okay, unlike the console application. So you select this Windows Form application. You can type an appropriate name. So in my case I want to save it in 2015 vb.net somewhere here. Okay, and let's say I would say Windows application. Okay, so Windows application, whatever name you want to give, you can give, and it will automatically create your solution directory and all those things. So I click on OK. The moment this one opens up, you will notice I'll close this, okay, so that you can see a broader view. This is what is a Windows form. A form is it's like a container for other controls. It acts like a container, okay, where you will put other controls to make it look as you want it to be. Okay, so right now this is of just one form. Okay, and if I run this, if you see, this is the run button as usual. Okay, so if I run this, you can see this is what is the output looks like, unlike the previous case where it was a black screen, isn't it? So this is what it looks like. Now in this case what is happening is that I'm not able to, can I enter any number? No, I cannot do anything. But my objective of this program is to create a program to reverse a number, isn't it? To reverse the number, unlike in this case which was a console application, we are asking something with like console.writeLine and all. So here console.writeLine is not going to work because we want a visual interface. So for that, what we do is that, let's come back to this, I'll stop this and we will, so now we need certain controls. Now remember, in Windows application, every control has got three important things. One is its event which are triggered, then there is some methods, okay, and it has got some properties. So you have to, every control has got events, methods and properties, and there are lots of events. For one control there will be lots of events, for one control there will be lots of properties, and so there will be a lots of methods. Now, because we are so familiar with Windows form, okay, or any kind of form, that we take, like for example, if I open, for example, maybe I can tell you about this one. This is an application which is for checking the USB disk. This also looks like a form. Which, can you see, these are like a button, isn't it? These are button but very nicely designed. Okay, so this is an example of a Windows form where there is a delete button. See the way they have placed the things, the way they have put this icon and all those things, and how it changes and all those things. So this is what we are going to try to make it, but not exactly like this one, but you can design your form to look something like this also. Okay, but we'll keep our things simple. Okay, so first of all, because my so-called this Microsoft Visual Studio is, I have removed all the views, so let me bring it back. One important one is that you need the toolbox. Toolbox is a big or a large collection of all the Windows form tools. Okay, so you can see if I click on this, you can see a lot of this. So if I click on this plus, it has got all the Windows form. That means everything that you can bring on top of this. Okay, so you can see a lot of tools are already there. Okay, but as if you compare it with Visual Basic 6, which is a very old version of this one, it has got by default only 20 tools. But look at this Visual Studio, that is .NET. It has got a lot of other tools also associated. And not only that, you can bring some more tools to it. Okay. So, but again, there is also a categories of tools, like you can have some common tools, containers, which actually everything is there in this all Windows form also. Okay, so when you go for all Windows, everything comes, but you can have a categories, like different kinds of categories. If you want to add some more tools to it, you can just right click here. You can go for this one, choose items, and you can bring some more references to other tools that is there. Okay, so I will show you this in the next time if you want to bring it. Okay, so right now I am just considering about making a small program that is to reverse a number. So the first thing is that I need that the user should enter something, because the number has to be entered into the form. For that, we have something called a text box. Okay, if I go for all forms, or let's keep it simple by going to this common controls, means the common controls that will be listed over here. So here you can see something called a text box. The purpose of the, you can see it's a small definition is given over there. Okay, if you click on this one, it says enables the user to enter text and provide multi-line editing. You can see there. Okay, editing and password character masking. So you can create those password character where you enter and it doesn't show you those letters or numbers that you are entering. All those things you can do it by using this text box. So let's say how do you bring this text box? Click on it, drag it, and you drop it in the form. Fine. So there is a text box. So what will this text box help me to do? It will just help me to enter some text. That's it. Okay. Now I will enter my number over here and I want it to display. Okay, the reverse number somewhere else. So I want another text box. I'll click, I'll drag it here. So I'll put that text box over here. Okay, so this text box, I'll enter a number and this is where I will just display the reverse number. Am I fine? Okay. So now see if I run this. This is the two text box. Okay. Now there is no other information in this particular form, isn't it? If I maximize it, you see this is how it looks. Now it's very confusing. Am I supposed to enter number here or am I supposed to enter the number here? It's a text box, so it will take number, letter, whatever you want. Okay. But there is nothing else in this, no other information, isn't it? Telling me what is this text box for. You get it? So for that we have got another tool that is called a label. Okay, so if I click and drag, let's again see the definition of the label. You see, provide runtime information or descriptive text for a control. That means a label will help you to identify other controls, what it is trying to do. Okay, so it's just for descriptive. Can you see this again? Let's bring it here. See, descriptive text for a control means it just tells us what is that control used for. You get it? So click this, I will drag it here, I'll click it, I'll drag it here. So now I have got two labels. Okay. Now what is it written here? Level 1, level 2. If it is written level 1 and level 2, will the user understand what is that level 1? It's not, isn't it? So that's when you change something called a property. A property of the control. Okay, so how do you do that? Again, you click here. You can because again in my case everything is hidden, so I'll go click here and I'll go for this property window. Okay, this is nothing. This is the view menu because I have hidden everything, so I am enabling by using this one. See, I click this. There comes the property this side. Okay, so I will drag it to make it more visible this side. Okay. Now, the moment we see I click on this text box, these are the properties that is L, all these are different kinds of properties that is available. So every properties has got certain things to do with that particular control. Okay. So this is what we will discuss some common properties later on. Okay. But right now, if I want to change this level because I don't want level 1, so there is a very important property that is called a text. Every control has got an important property which is important for that particular control. For a level, text is a very important property. Why? See, I double click on this one and this is written level 1 over here. I delete this and let's say I enter something like this. Please, no, let's say, please enter the number to reverse. So I press this. So now see, this is the level which has changed. Now it has become too big, so you can drag it up, bring it this one some more this side. You can drag this form by clicking in the form, drag it so that you can become bigger. So now it is asking, please enter the number to reverse. So now isn't it very specific that this text box is for entering the number, isn't it? Similarly, if you want the result to be shown over here, so you want this text box to tell that the reverse number is something like that, isn't it? So click in this text box level again, and you go for this one text and change it to the let's say reverse number is, and you this one. So the reverse number is, it will be displayed over. So now I am very specific that this is for entering the number and this is for the output, that is the reverse number. Clear? So let's try. Do you think my program is going to work if I just enter a number like this and it is going to reverse? No, because there is nothing else. It is because it's a form of Windows is a event driven programming. Okay, Windows is a event driven programming. What it means is that until and unless some event occurs, okay, it is not going to do anything for us. Okay, generally, if you just now I showed you an example of this particular I think this one, yes. This one, see, I have opened this application, okay, and if I'm not clicking anything, is anything this application is doing? No, it's because this, if I click something like this, then only it will start that USB script. So that means it has to do something, means an event has to occur. In this case, it's a click event. So similarly, in a form, if you want that this one should reverse a number, I need a button now where somebody has to click. Click is the event. You understand? So when somebody clicks on that button, then only it will try to reverse it. Fine? So how do you do that? So now we have something called a button. So let's drag this button and again we drop it. Now again, on top of the button it is written one, button 1, which is again not very informative for user. He doesn't understand what is this button for, isn't it? So what I'll do is that I will click on this button again. See, this is all about the button. Everything is about the button here. Okay, so in this button there is something called again a text. It's written over there. So let's say here I will say reverse uh, reverse the number. Okay, so now it's too big, so you can drag it and you can adjust it. So now I have a button, okay, which says reverse the number, but just it's a button. So if somebody clicks also, still nothing is going to happen because I haven't written the code yet. Okay, so how do you go to the code window? So this is the form view, means I am seeing the form with all the controls that I have dragged in. Clear? Now I want to go to the so-called the coding view. I want to write the code for this because when somebody clicks, then only it should start reversing the number. Fine. So I'll double click. See, double click on this one, and you'll see that I'm back here in this particular window, which is it's written what? Public class form1. So that form is actually a class. Okay, as I told you, it's a container. Okay, so container for methods like, can you see this button 1, click, and then it has got something like Bivalves, sender system.object and all those things, okay, which I did not type. It is, that means what? This is the part where I'll write the code for the click event of the button. When somebody will click, then only it will start running those code. You understand? You can change this event by going here. Can you see this is written click over here? You can go for, see, can you see all these things? Okay, that means that particular control, that is the button, has got so many events also. As I showed you so many properties of that button, similarly it has got so many events. It can also have so many methods also of its own. You understand? Okay, so let's say I want to write the code now. Okay, now see, how will I write the code? If you remember, I'm not going to retype everything. This is what we did that day, isn't it? For reversing the number, isn't it? So I will just copy paste this so that I will show you how we are going to change it. Okay, so I will just copy. Uh, yeah, let's copy this first the entire thing, then I'll show you. Uh, okay, let me paste it. So there, the entire code has come. Okay, now see, is there any error it is popping up? Let me close this again. okay, so that you will understand this code, knows everything. So it looks like the same thing, okay, but what is that console.writeLine, no? But console.writeLine was something that was asking in the black and white screen. So I don't want to take the input by asking again, please enter the number, because the user will already be enter the number in that text box, isn't it? So for that, I don't need this. Means I don't need this part, so I'll delete. This is only when you're doing console application. Similarly, I don't need this also, console.readline. Okay, but the point is now where from the input will come? It will come from that text box. Now let's go back to the design view. You can click here. Can you see it's written over there, design? Okay, so if you click there, you're back in the design view. Okay, now see, each of this control, okay, has got a name, and the name is unique. How do I know the name? Again, I can either go from here, view, and I can go for this one, properties, okay, or I can use this shortcut key, that is F4, okay, but I can also do it like this. Right click on it and you go for properties, same thing, okay. So I go for properties. This is the properties. Now you see, this is the text box where we will be entering the number, isn't it? Now if you go, what is the name here? It is text box 1. Similarly, you see this one has got a name that is called text box 2. This one has got a name called button 1. Even this level has got level 1, level 2. But remember, we changed the text, not the name. You understand? We have changed the text. Okay. Now that means my input is coming from which text box? Text box 1, isn't it? And the output will go to text box 2. Clear? I double click on this one. See, that's why it's written over there button 1 click, because we are writing the event for the button 1. So here what I'll do is that the input, because this was the input part, console.readline, isn't it? Here what I'll do is that I'll type um, see, this is the best part of having Visual Studio. It gives that intelligent sense, isn't it? Can you see text box 1, text box 2 is there? So I double click on this one, text box 1, and we want to take the text out of the text box 1, isn't it? So dot text. Clear? So now what will happen? It will take whatever text you will enter in the text box, it will convert it into integer and put it in NO. So rest, the reverse logic is the same thing that we did that day, except I do not want it to display like this. The reverse number is. It should display directly where? In the text box 2. So what you'll do is that you'll just say text box 2 dot text, because it's already written, the reverse number is in that level, so equals to, I will just say ref. Okay, so what are the things that I replace? I replace the console.writeLine, okay, with the text box, and I have replaced the console.readline also. So those two things were the one which was helping me to take the input and give an output in a console application. But in this case, my input is also a text box, my output is also another text box. So now let's run this program. So there, okay. Now I have written the code over there that if somebody clicks, what is going to happen? So let's say I enter something like this. This is the number. See, I click on this one. It is reversing the number and putting it in the text box. So it's quite graphical now. Looks good, isn't it? You can, and see, suppose I enter another number. Maybe. Okay, this is the number. Okay. Now I am not clicking. Will anything happen? No. So that's what is called a event driven program. If you click here also in that form, say I'm clicking in that form, I'm clicking in this level, I'm clicking in this text box, anything happening? No, because where is the code written? The code is written on the click event of this one. So see, as I am moving on top of this particular button, nothing is happening. Okay, so only the thing will happen only when I click here, then only it reverses the number. So that is what is called an event driven programming. So until an event occurs, similarly see, I will just show you an example of a different event. Okay, now you notice that this is what is the event that we are triggering. It's called click. Am I okay? Now I can change it. Okay, so let's say I can change this event to something else. Maybe I can go for something called mouse hover. Okay, now I click on this one. See, it's a, can you see mouse hover? Now what I'll do is that I will I don't want, I'll cut this, the entire thing. This console.readline, even if it is there, it doesn't make a sense now, isn't it? So I'll cut Control X and I'll put it where? On top of the mouse hover, means mouse hover. Okay, mouse hover, and you see there is nothing in the click event. Okay, so if there is nothing in the click event, the which event we are now targeting? Hover. Hover means when you bring the mouse on top of the particular button, because this is the button. Okay, now notice. Okay, so let's enter some number. Okay, now see, I'm not clicking, but I just bring this particular mouse here. I'm not bringing it on top of the button, nothing is happening, isn't it? But the moment I bring it on top of this, it reverses the number, isn't it? So what is happening? That means the event that I targeted was a hover of that button. So see, if I change this one, okay, I move around anywhere, it doesn't matter, isn't it? But the moment I bring it on top of this one, it reverses the number. So you have to decide which event you want to target. There are lots of events for a particular control. Okay, but every control, as I told you, has got an important property, has got an important method. It has also got an important so-called event property and methods. These are the, it has got some important. Everything is not required most of the time. All right, okay, now you can do a good designing. I don't like people, I mean simple design. Okay, like I'll just show you. You have seen, you have been familiar with Windows Form application. So I'll do one thing. I'll just cut it back and paste it there. Visual Studio is very nice. See, I click it like this. Instead of cutting, I can just click and drag it over there. You can see that I can just drag and paste it over there. So that's like cut and paste. Okay, now uh, see, it's always good to have a good, see, if I run this, it looks more or less okay, but you can make a better design out of it. Okay, so always try to be creative in your designing, means give a good looks to it, because that's what is Windows form. If you see any form, okay, in Windows, people like to make it look nice. Like I can go for any of the controls, like even this one, this is Avira antivirus. Okay, so if I go for this also, it's a form, but very well means nicely designed. Even a web application is very nicely designed nowadays. Okay, so you can go for all those things. Let me show you how to a bit like this is the one which is you can see it's a form because there is a cross button that is to stop. Okay, but more or less this is a web application type. Okay, so you can have tab systems and all also. Even these are possible here also. Okay, so what I want to do now is that I want to put them inside something. So I will go for this toolbox again. That is the toolbox. Now I'll minimize this, and you can see that's something called containers. Okay, now what I'll do is that I will cut all, see, I'll select all of them together by clicking and dragging. Okay, so click and drag, I will cut them. So all controls are selected, so right click and you say cut. Okay, so everything is gone. Now what I'll do is that I'll bring a container. It's better to have a group box. Okay, so drag this group box, put it over there, and you make a, maybe this much, maybe this much. It's good to keep things in a group box, in a container. Even form is a container, but even group box and everybody is also a container. Okay, so I'll just paste it. Can you see these controls now? Okay, so you can, in this group box text, see this is the group box, you go to this text and you say uh, this one, reversing a number, reversing a number, right? So now you can also change a property called this one. You can have back color of the group box. Just I'm just showing you, you can be creative to it. Okay, maybe I can have a very light color to it. You can see it's a bit different from the form now, isn't it? So if I run this, looks a bit better than what it was, very plain looking, isn't it? So it looks a bit better. You can even change the color of this one. So properties help you to change the way it looks. Okay, it's mostly about the looks in this case. Okay, so now again the program is working the same way. So if I reverse, sorry, see this is the button click, so I should have, this is no more working. So this sometimes it happens. Okay, so you have to be careful. Control X, see I double click and this is the code now it is generating for that. Okay, so I run this, so this one I reverse the number, so there. Okay. So with a better look you can even change the color of the but don't make it too fancy, that's my suggestion. Okay, it should not be too fancy also. Alright, so this is how you can create a good Windows application by whatever console application that you have done. You have to just think of how to take the input and how to give the output, because it's no more console.writeLine and no more console.readline. You understand? So you have to know by how, what kind of input you are taking, how user friendly your input you want to make it. There are many other controls to help you to take input. We'll discuss one by one. Alright, so thank you.